Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. I'm Mike. This time we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Rock and Roll action figure by Hasbro. Now, if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. Sergeant First Class Craig McConnell, otherwise known as Rock and Roll on the radio. He is one of the heavy weapons experts within G.I. Joe 11 Bravo in the U.S. Army. Craig is a graduate of 1 Station Unit training at Fort Benning, Georgia. He is airborne qualified and probably the baddest dude that Malibu, California has ever produced. Not only is Rock and Roll an expert with heavy weapons, he's also an expert with the surfboard and with the ladies. So this is my first G.I. Joe Classified Series figure that I purchased in over a year. In all honesty, I did not think that I was going to continue collecting the line. So I saw this figure at Area Walmart. I passed it over quite a few times. I mulled it over. I went back the other night, and when I did, I decided to go ahead and pick it up. And I'm really glad that I did. It's an awesome action figure. So taking a look at the packaging, which is now plastic free because God forbid we wouldn't want to do any damage to the environment. Down at the bottom, you got your G.I. Joe Classified Series banner. And I really like this because this is actually raised lettering on here. It's not flat, it's not just printed on there. That's really neat. You got the G.I. Joe logo below that. Upper center of the box, you've got some artwork of Rock and Roll protecting the space shuttle out at Edwards Air Force Base. Now, upper right, some obligatory product shots of all the accessories included. You got your M60 machine gun, your ammo belt, M-beater handheld radio, interchangeable hands. You got your detachable ammo box for the M60, a sidearm, and a helmet. So on this side of the packaging, you got some more artwork of Rock and Roll. And then on this side, you've got your QR code that you can scan, which takes you to the Hasbro Pulse website for G.I. Joe. Then on the back, more obligatory product shots. It shows you the action figure, everything is included, and some of the features down below that. You've got the little icons for the different features of the character as far as their skills, abilities, and things of that nature. Now, before we begin, I do want to talk about what's included inside of the box. With Hasbro's plastic-free packaging, they have redesigned the inserts for both the accessories and the action figure. So to begin, taking a look at the left, you see this cardboard box that is designed like a pelican case, and it's got the G.I. Joe emblem here. If you flip it around, it's got the number 71 for Rock and Roll's number within the lineup, and then his name here. And then on this side, which is the top, you've got a carry handle and the latches designed into it. If you open it up, it has a plastic bag in it, and the accessories are in that, and I've already opened these. And we'll take a look at those in just a moment. The next thing you're going to notice is the insert tray for Rock and Roll himself. And it's got the same artwork that is on the box, but it's done in grayscale, which is really cool. I do like this. I think this is neat, and I do like the design that they have chosen to use for the G.I. Joe Classified with the plastic-free packaging. All right, so here we have Rock and Roll outside of the packaging. This is one of the nicest action figures that I have seen released to date within the Classified series. I am really impressed with the accessories, the articulation, the paint apps, all of it come together to make a really nice action figure. So let's bring him in closer so you guys can see the head sculpt. And you can see the attention to detail, how they've used the different tints of skin tone there, the shading, as well as in his hair and his beard. All the way around, he's a nice looking action figure. You can see that he's got on a two-tone combat shirt there. He's got some tattoos on his arms and hands. See those there. And he also has an alternate hand sculpt with this same tattoo on it. You can see he's got some 7.62 rounds on his wrist for the M60. Of course, he's got a couple of ammo belts strapped across his chest, and I've repainted these. See his gun belt here. I've weathered it, repainted the magazines and the base plates on the magazines. An accessory pouch, canteen, and an IFAK. Drop thigh holster for a sidearm. And he's got another accessory pouch over here. And he's got on combat pants with integrated knee pads, brown boots. Really cool looking figure. Let's talk about articulation. Full range of motion with the head sculpt here. It's on a ball joint, and then the neck is also articulated. Forward and lateral movement at the shoulder. You've got bicep rotation, upper arm swivel. There's a butterfly joint here. You've got double hinge elbow here, wrist rotation, and wrist pivot. Torso, of course, has the hinge. It's also on a ball joint. His arms back down. Forward and lateral movement at the thigh rotation, and these are the drop down joints as well, as you can see there. Double jointed knees, and these are pinless. Lower leg rotation. His foot will pivot and roll. So a full range of motion on this action figure, and that's really what sets these figures apart. This is what makes them so realistic, when you can take a figure like this and put it into a realistic fighting or shooting position. All right, so now that we've talked about rock and roll, let's talk about the accessories. First and foremost, you have two interchangeable hands. You've got a solid fist for the right hand. You guys can see that there. Some detailing in there, veins popping out. For the left hand, you got this cool interchangeable hand sculpt, and if you switch this out, you can actually hold it up to his face like that if you want to do that with him. Also included is his Mitch helmet, and you got a Wilcox mount and shroud up here for his nods. You got your commo set up here on the arc rails, chin straps. You got a pouch on the back for your battery compartment or weights for the nods. He's got Hang 10 written up there. I'll just slide right on. That looks really cool on him. That's an older style helmet, but for this guy, that just really completes his look. You've got the M-Beater, or medium band inter-team radio, and it has a peg on the back which will fit into one of two ports on his belt, either here or here. But to do that, you're going to have to slide something under his belt to push it out away from his waist to be able to push this in. Otherwise, it's not going to stay on his belt. Also included is his sidearm. And based upon the shape, this looks like it's supposed to be Glock G17 Gen 4, Gen 5, and it will fit right into drop thigh holster. Let's hope that's Black Hawk. That's a Serpa holster and not Safari Land. A lot of people rave about Safari Land. I don't like their holsters, not one bit. Got an ammo belt for the M60. And you can see this one's unpainted if you compare it to the ones he's got strapped on there that I've painted. And this is really cool. Also included is the detachable box magazine for the M60 machine gun, and you have a removable short strip of ammo there. And it has these two pegs that go on a port on the side of the weapon, and then you've got this long port. You turn him around, and this will, I think, plug into his belt. Is the way it was designed, like that. And you can use the other ammo belt in the gun if you so choose to do so. We'll leave that out right now. And last but not least, we have the M60 machine gun. This is one of my favorite weapons of all time from the U.S. Army. It's commonly called the Pig, and it is a beast. It is an awesome, awesome weapon. It's since been replaced by the FN family of squad automatic weapons, but it's still utilized by some special operations units and different variants like the M60A3 E6 model. Just a really, really cool weapon. Unfortunately, with this accessory, the barrel is warped. And this is an issue that has plagued this line since it was first released. And it's not just confined to the Classified series, it's all of the brands that are sold by Hasbro because of the type of material that they make these accessories from. And the only way to remedy this is to get some really hot tap water and immerse it in that for 30 or 40 seconds, pull it out, try to straighten it, and immediately dunk it in ice cold water. You can also utilize a hair dryer for the same amount of time, 30 or 40 seconds, try and straighten it. And you can pop the bipod off and try to tape it down on a flat surface to straighten it out. But it's really disappointing. I'm the type of person, I would rather pay $3 or $4 more per action figure and know that I'm getting ABS plastic weapons than to continue to invest in this line and see this inside the box, and then I have to go onto eBay or Etsy and order 3D printed weapons from a third-party seller. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we shouldn't have to do that when we buy these toys. And if you look at Action Force, all of their weapons are ABS plastic. You do not see any of their weapons warp like this. That does not happen. And that's one of the great things about that line, and they've also reduced the cost of their action figures. Their mainline figures were like $31.99 each. They're reducing the cost of those, as well as the other figures like the Guard or Sentry figures, the Troopers, the Republic Trooper figures. They're being reduced, and they have the weapons packs. So it's just really disappointing. Hasbro is the largest toy manufacturer in the world, and there's absolutely zero excuse for this being included with these G.I. Joe figures. You know, everyone thinks Star Wars is their flagship line. No, it's not. G.I. Joe is. This is their flagship brand. And this says a lot about Hasbro's stance on marketing. This is very, very disappointing, and we shouldn't be seeing this. What we should be seeing is ABS weapons and an ABS display base included with each of these figures, and we don't. So let's talk about how he can utilize this. If you turn it around, you've got the attachment point here for these two pegs for the ammo box, and you just slide the ammo belt in to the feed tray at the top like that and attach it on, and that's good to go. You got a carry handle up here on the top, and of course he can grip the weapon, and his trigger finger is already positioned so you can pull it out and put it into the trigger guard if you want to. Let's see, like that. And because of the super articulation, the butterfly joint, as well as the double hinge elbow, you're able to bring his hands up and get him into a realistic shooting position where he can shoulder this weapon and go to work. And in real life, if you were shooting this weapon, that's how you would shoot it. You don't fire machine guns from the hip like Rambo. It doesn't work that way. You shoulder these weapons, aim down the sights, and fire it in controlled burst. Overall, this is an awesome action figure, a must-have if you are a collector. The only criticism I have is the warp weapon. So there you have the G.I. Joe Classified Series rock and roll action figure by Hasbro.